Dear students, let us begin with the third part of the lesson on India and BIMSTEC, in which we will discuss about China and BIMSTEC and India's responsibility. Let us discuss about China and BIMSTEC. India and China are increasingly competing with each other in other countries. China has expanded its presence in different parts of Indian Ocean, notably through its involvement in the BRI project. China's BRI, a multi-billion-dollar venture, is connecting 80 countries in Asia, Europe and Africa. BRI covers half of the world's population and a quarter of global GDP, connecting infrastructure corridor over land and sea route. India refused to join the BRI because China had agreement with Pakistan to take up the project called China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The project would involve the disputed area, that is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, impinging on Indian sovereignty. Further, India refused to join the project because its merchandise and manufactured exports are minuscule. India joined the Quad because BRI is clashing with free and open passage of oceans. China is trying to create unipolar order through the initiative of BRI. Beijing's economic expansion is strengthening authoritarianism and weakening democracies. There are doubts raised over Chinese investment in Pakistan through the CPEC project. China plans to build ports, roads and railways in underdeveloped Eurasia and Africa mainly out of political motivation rather than real demand for infrastructure. The critics suspect BRI is China's strategy to establish hegemony. Beijing is currently making a massive push to fund infrastructure projects and foster connectivity throughout South, Central and Southeast Asia through the BRI. Through this, it aims to increase China's north to south access routes to the Indian Ocean, especially via Bangladesh, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. In response, New Delhi now seeks to develop alternative east to west connectivity plans between South and Southeast Asia across the Bay of Bengal. India and Japan proposed the Asia-Africa Growth Corridor. Unlike the BRI, AAGC will be a sea corridor linking Africa with India and other countries of Southeast Asia and Oceania. It will be more consultative and private sector funded than government funded, unlike BRI. BRI is a debt-based infrastructure project rather than free foreign aid initiative or simply a network of trade activities. AAGC, which is being envisioned by India and Japan, is based more on the consultative nature of cooperation. It focuses on infrastructure building, enhancing connectivity and aiming to promote the universal growth based on people-to-people contacts. China expressed its interest to obtain observer status in BIMSTEC. While bringing China into BIMSTEC could lead to immediate financial dividends, it would also likely weaken the organization in the long term, given Beijing's history of adopting divide and rule practices toward other regional organizations like ASEAN and the EU. Let us discuss about India's responsibility. India needs to be involved actively and make sure that summits are conducted periodically without any interruption. India, as a leading member and as a responsible major country, needs to protect the Bay of Bengal region from threats and maintain free, open and peaceful region. Generally, small and weak countries demand greater autonomy. Hence, India must respect the sensitivities of small states while being involved in the grouping. India must invest more resources in BIMSTEC in sectors such as connectivity and strengthening the secretariat. Though India has the largest share of the Secretariat's budget, its share is less than that of the Commonwealth or SAARC. Funding is one of the main factors to strengthen the organization. India's financial contribution is very critical to advancing the BIMSTEC's agenda. It must be involved actively in the 4 sectors it chairs: transport and communication, tourism, environment and disaster management, and counter-terrorism and transnational crime. Having gained experience from SAARC, BIMSTEC must avoid the requirement of unanimity among all member states to take any decisions. India may play a role in developing a mechanism to take a decision without any delay. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far in this lesson. BIMSTEC is a platform for India to integrate itself with Southeast Asia. The India-ASEAN FTA in goods is likely to integrate the 2 globally important economic blocs for mutually beneficial economic gains. India should play a constructive role in BIMSTEC to prove that it could not play effectively in SAARC because of non-cooperation of Pakistan. India needs to take into account the stability, growth, peace and security in the region. India should use its economic and technological potential to help lesser endowed partner countries. In doing so, India has the potential to derive twofold benefits. The cooperative frameworks will help to mitigate its own socio-economic challenges and enhance its standing in the BIMSTEC community. It will lead to generating greater cooperation amongst all partners. Expanding the reach of BIMSTEC within ASEAN will also help smaller economies like Nepal, Bangladesh and Myanmar to promote their domestic economies, weaning them away from possible engagement with Chinese economic advances. I hope you understood about India and BIMSTEC. We have concluded our lesson. Thank you.